Welcome to the Best Small Business Show, where we explore ideas, strategies, and lessons that can transform small businesses and the lives of the owners.
Today, we're going to discuss The Road to Character by David Brooke. It's a compelling book about values that build a strong character and how they can shape individuals and businesses that they lead.
We're going to then explore four key insights that we've gotten from the book. And what we always do is translate them into actionable tips for small business owners like you. So let's dive in. BJ, why don't you take us away with the first insight?
Okay, so what the first insight that I got out of it was embrace humility to foster growth. So this is a bit of cerebral. I remember when we were planning the session, Rich and I were like, yes, this is. The Road to Character, Brooks really emphasizes the power of humility, not as a weakness, but as a strength that allows us to grow. You know, for small businesses, humility means acknowledging your limitations and being open to learning. So think about that time when you realize you don't have the staff or you don't have the resources to handle a certain job, right, Rich?
Absolutely. It's kind of funny. I just got off the phone with a client and I said, this is the perfect time of year to meet with each of your employees, your office staff, and your techs, and to sit down with them and tell them all the great things that they've been doing this year. And then also, here's some things that we need to modify or fix. So there's some humility in it, but, and showing them we've had a great year here, and it's all because of you, but here's some things that we want to do differently in 2025. So it's embracing that humility, and they're looking at growing the company. So it's
Oh, yeah.
wonderful.
And think of various action tips that could be done here. Seek that feedback. So what Rich was just talking about is that feedback. Create a system to gather feedback from employees, customers, and peers regularly. Use it to refine your processes. This is interesting. There are certain people who you know are doing it in their business because their business is extremely successful. And then there's others who I don't want to hear it. Well, you do need to hear it. And then admit mistakes. We have something called, oh, I own it. And I'm telling you, it's the best thing we ever did. You lead by example as a business owner. Openly own your mistakes. Show your team that it's okay to fail while you're learning. Learn from it. Let it be an opportunity. And then stay curious. Dedicate weekly time to learning something new about your industry and about leadership. Obviously, Rich and I have an automatically built-in way to do that. And we're doing it all the time. But the key takeaway here is a humble business owner creates a culture where growth and improvement are continuous. It's a great place to work.
BJ, you're absolutely right. Our second insight that we got from Brooks's book is cultivate. Now, this is a tough one. Eulogy virtues over resume virtues. This caught me off guard when I was reading it.
Had to read it twice.
Well, Brooks distinguishes between what he calls resume virtues, which are those skills that bring external success, and eulogy virtues, which are qualities that define who we are at our core, okay? Our philosophy, what drives us. So
Yeah.
small business owners often get caught chasing the former, those resume virtues, but the latter, the eulogy virtues, builds lasting legacies with your clients, with your customers, and your employees. So that's where he says you need to start looking inside. What are those qualities that define you at the core? Give you an idea, it was Alan Mulally, great CEO of Ford. They brought him in from Boeing, and he just brought a simple kind of logic to his management. He was like the nicest guy. He rarely ever fired anybody. He tried to work with them. he was just a great guy because he practiced eulogy virtues. Steve Jobs. Now everybody thinks, yeah, Steve Jobs was a terrible manager. He was just a jerk. But
Yeah.
he had those qualities that defined him at the core that he communicated. The whole drive for simplicity and ease of use. And he brought, I mean, if anybody remembers what computers were like in the early 90s and
Right.
what Macs were like, they were two totally different computers. Until Windows came out with Windows 95, Windows was like a DOS program. It was awful.
It
It
was
was awful.
terrible.
So
Yeah.
think about what your eulogy virtues are. So here's some action tips. Number one, define your values. Write down 3 core values that guide your business decisions. Share these with your team and hold yourself accountable to those values. Number two, prioritize relationships. Focus on building authentic connections with new clients and current clients and your employees rather than just having transactional relationships. And then finally, make long term decisions. This is the best time of year to make long term decisions for 2025. Resist
Yeah.
the temptation of quick wins. Opt for decisions that align with your values and strengthen your business for the future. So, our key takeaway for Insight 2 is build a business that people admire for what you do and who you are. So, that's so important.
Yeah. And Rich, I think that a lot of people miss out on make those long-term decisions. And we've harped on it for 7 years. You can go back and look at all our podcasts having to do with goal setting. That just look around December, and you will see a huge amounts of them. And we want to make sure you understand that simplicity, get down to
Yes.
the core, and you'll be glad you did. So insight number 3 is serve a higher purpose. And this I got a little, I thought, oh, are we going to get funky here? No. Brooks argues that the greatest characters are driven by a calling or a purpose greater than themselves. So in a lot of cases, people think that's your passion. That's that inner core thing where you're going to be a nurse or you are going to do this. It's like built in you. You can't choose anything else. But similarly, businesses that succeed in the long run often operate with a mission beyond profit. So if Nike says just do it, they have a reason to say that. They have a mission that's beyond what they're actually doing for the profit end of things. A couple of good action tips. Well, define your mission. Develop a mission statement highlighting how your business has improved lives. So, not for nothing, great content for the website, hello, and also great for storytelling in your blog. Fantastic thing to do. Engage your team. Host quarterly discussions on how your team can better align their roles with the business purpose. So here's a crazy thing. Don't make it formal. Don't make it formal. Have a relaxing time in talking about it, but also maybe plan ahead a little so that somebody else leads the meeting. You're not leading it because you tend to be intimidating. I'm telling you right now. So have somebody else do it. And you're going to find some insights that are going to be amazing. Contribute to your community. Set aside time and resources to support causes that matter to your team and customers. We actually have a slot of a percent of our work, which is nonprofit. But the rule has been since the very beginning is we get to choose the nonprofits. So
Yes.
if one walks in and they're not grateful, they're not going to get any work done. And we also have to believe in the cause, right? Rich, I
Yep.
harped on filling in the blanks, food for children. And I think I've told everybody about it. And it's so important, to pick something that you really, again, you have a calling to push it and do it. So Awesome thing for everybody to be doing. The key takeaway really is this purpose-driven businesses are not just profitable, but they're also impactful and endearing. So,
Yeah, BJ, you're absolutely right. Think of the businesses you love going to. 9 times out of 10, they're very active in their community. They
yes.
really care. They do things, and it makes you feel good about using their products or services or shopping there. So
Yeah.
again, uh, make your business impactful and enduring. Well, our fourth and final insight from Brooks's book is build endurance through struggle. And we're talking to small businesses here. We all struggle.
Let's
We
make
all
some
struggle.
use of it.
Absolutely. Brooks reminds us that struggle and setbacks shape our character. Okay, so think about that. Think about the next time you're having a bad day or a bad week or month. This is building character. Challenges are inevitable for small businesses, but resilience determines success. It's how you bounce back. We all have, look, BJ, how many failures have you had? I
Oh
have
my God.
one a week.
I
I
know.
have one a month.
Rich is hilarious because he loves trying things. Loves trying things. So I'm going to try this in a webinar. I'm going to try this in a thing. I'm going to redirect that. And I'm always like, okay, go ahead, but it's not going to work. And he doesn't care. He found out a nugget that's going to work and make it even better. He's like the Thomas Edison of coaching. I'm telling you, it's everybody has their way, right, Rich?
Yeah, so think about it. If you're a small business, you're going to have struggles, but turn it around and make it build your character. Here's some action tips. Number one, document your lessons learned. That's so important. What went wrong? Where did it go off the rails? And what did you learn from it? After every challenge, write down those key takeaways and discuss them in team meetings to foster growth and say, you know what, we did that discount on these products and they really didn't sell. What do you guys think happened? What do you think we could have done differently? Engage your people. Second, celebrate small wins. Recognize your progress. That's one
I
thing. It's like
know.
when
Come
something's
on.
successful, we forget that, oh, yeah, it's just right to keep your morale high, even in tough times. Okay. And then finally, and this is one that BJ and I talk about all the time, invest in self care. As a leader, take care of your mental and physical health to stay sharp and lead effectively. You need to think about you. If you're working 80-hour weeks, 90-hour weeks, as a coach, I would tell you you need to pull back. So the key takeaway for this last insight is embrace struggles as opportunities to build your resilience and deepen your business's character.
Yes. And I hope that everybody is sticking with us because here's the conclusion to the entire book. Small business owners are not just building businesses, they're shaping legacies.
Yeah, and the lessons from the road to character remind us that our identity is as important as what we achieve. It's what, people think of us and what we think of ourselves. It's so important.
And by embracing humility, focusing on our values, serving a higher purpose, and enduring struggles, you can lead with character and build businesses that really make a difference.
And BJ, I think you've really hit upon it. It's like you're in business to make a difference. I mean, you're not
Yeah.
just in business to, I just want to make, cupcakes. You want to make a difference out there. So we suggest you run out and buy this book today. This is a
Yes.
great book.
This is a shelf book.
This is shelf book. So keep the momentum going. Share this episode on LinkedIn, Instagram, X, and TikTok with the hashtag The Best Small Business Show. Spread the word and keep our community growing by subscribing to our show.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Reach out to my podcast partner, Rich G, at richg.com for top-tier business coaching that drives results. And for all things brand marketing and website design, contact me, BJ Flagg at New Renew. Let's make your marketing remarkable.
And a big shout out to our editor and producer, Richard Scalzo, for making us sound professional in every episode. Have an unbelievable week, crush those goals, and we'll catch you on the next episode.